The commander of the Region 6 Police says, "We are moving from mass distributions to prosecution." Ronetta Court reports.
The Region 6 Regional Division Police have recently carried out face mask distribution drives in several communities throughout the region. During an interview with Regional Commander of Police, Mr. Jairam Ramlakan, he noted that the distribution exercises may be continuous. However, it is time for enforcement.
Providing we get, we would distribute. But we've reached a stage where we would have to ignore that, because we've been doing that all the time. What we have to do now is the enforcement, is to ensure that persons are prosecuted for violating or breaching the COVID-19 guidelines or emergency measures. We've been talking all the time. How long more must we talk? I was in a meeting with the task force, National Task Force, and that was one of the suggestions. And I fully support or endorse is that the person is seen walking without a mask. It doesn't mean, no, you have to protect yourself. If you're not concerned about yourself or your family, then why? We have moved now from mass distribution to prosecution.
Although the police have 2 lockdown teams, the commander is calling on civilians to watch out and report any breaches of the COVID-19 health measures, especially those in relation to the opening of bars and rum shops.
We have 2 lockdown teams, one in New Amsterdam, which involves the police and the army, and another on the quarantine. I would respectfully ask that if you observe or you see any such place open, because they're not to be open in the first instance, right? They are prohibited. Bars and rum shops are prohibited from opening. One of the several offenses that are committed under the COVID-19 guideline is persons who host. That's we're talking about rum shops and bars who host. Like the owner who open and sell to the public. The person who attends, that means the person who go in and buy and drink. And the person who visited. The person who visits. So the charges could be 3. And not for the person alone who opened the bar, but the person who is imbibing there, and the person who probably just going to relax.
He further emphasized,
You have to look at the holistic approach in endangering the lives of persons, right? Just for a few dollars more, you want to have secret parties and private party or whatever, right? And you're not looking at it. You see, the thing about, I think the framer of these guidelines realize that this closure of rum shop and bar, we know that when someone imbibes, that is the time they want to hug and touch and do all sort of things. You understand? And you, the host or the operator of that bar, could control. You have no control over them. Right? So that is one of the areas that we have to stringently enforce. Right? Stringently enforce.
Recognizing that not all civilians are aware of the gazetted COVID-19 guidelines, the police have made printed copies that are to be distributed.
We've made printed copies of this emergency, the recent emergency measure, so that we give out to the public, especially the business places, and let them consume, right, fully, so they will understand. We've been preaching it all the time, but I think that we have to go the extra thing. We are going to incur the cost of printing those documents and to measure, in fact, and to have it out for the general public to read and to understand. So we give it to various groupings also, so they're able to explain to the workers and they explain to people, here, these are the guidelines, this is what we have to follow.
The police force will continue to contribute to the fight against COVID-19. Let us all play our part by simply practicing social distancing, good hand hygiene, and wearing a face mask when in public. Reporting for Channel 8 News, Ronetta Court.